Hey everyone, sorry, I have to reset the lobby because I didn't like the ping. So getting into that as quickly as we can. But in the background, we have the lovely Sporty FC and Thunder B helping cover this match between Kamoco and Dignitas. Let me let them know that the lobby is up. How you two gentlemen doing? We have Kamoco who 3-0'd Hey Bro, by the way, to make it here. SSG also got upset by Omelette, which is the new Sucker Patrick roster with Kensei subbed out for Percy because Kensei's taking a break apparently for the first split. So it's going to be crazy to see this matchup because Dignitas, they have a new roster too. Kamoco, they're making some moves. How you guys feeling about these two teams?
Well, Dig I got to see play in the draw not too long ago, but that was with Eris, as you said. So there's been a flip around of the roster a little bit there. And I, to be honest, haven't seen much Gyro at all over the last about year or so of RLCS. He just wasn't in a lot of matches that I saw. So I'm actually kind of curious to see what shape he's in. And Kamoco is all players that I know, but that team is an unknown entity. I'm really curious, especially after their last match result, to see how they're going to square off against Dig.
Well, we got the match here, and we're going to be getting into the game. Sorry to interrupt real quick.
Well, as you were saying again, what a series this is. Dignitas Kamoco, our last match of the stream here, a best of 5. And this match is just to get yourself into tomorrow, into that final bracket. And for either team, you can never really feel safe at any point in this bracket. You can maybe not focus for a little bit, and that's when things hurt. And well, if they lose here, they gotta play right after this. So both these teams, it's gonna be their priority to get off to as good of a start as possible.
And I think all 6 players in this lobby have won and lost to everybody else in the tournament. Like it's so funny at this level of play. You call that the match result that Kamoco just got a huge upset or whatever because it's been a hot streak for Hey Bro, but that's just the level that we're at. It's so hard to call and predict the way match results are going to go, and that's a pretty good air dribble bump, deferring to Arsenal for the first goal here for Dig.
Great start from Dignitas here, Gyro. You asked, well, what kind of, how is he feeling today? And I think that's a pretty good start. The air dribble assist, followed with the bump on the last defender there. A beautiful pass off. And Dignitas with the early start here, 1 goal up against the Kamoco. Again, as we said, underdogs here, that win over Hey Bro. Dignitas definitely, I think many would consider the favorites in this matchup, but it was definitely starting off that way. Kamoco, though, looking for the answer. Ball in front. That one's stopped by Arsenal. Up from Taroko, dropping it down. But Kamoco getting some early taste of offense, but they haven't scored yet until it goes in front. Cam slides it under the last defender. Kamoco tie at 1. A great time for a great response.
And check out you got Taroko's view there. I was going to say the unintentional fake. He got a piece of it. Taroko hit some part of some kind of piece of that ball and got an assist for it. I don't know how much it changed the trajectory, but Cam, I think the one to slot it home there, and that's huge for Kamoco to drop that one in and not really waste any time being down in this game. They're getting back to business as usual, and Taroko fires one home. It's 2-1.
Yeah, beautiful one there. And again, it's Cam who's in the middle of this play, but that one, not the shot, but the assist, but he gets the bump as well. Arsenal is, one of those players, he's going to make those saves. You have to bump him out. Cam doing just that, and some great aggression from Kamoco. We're seeing why these guys are so scary today, and a lot of it just has to do with the fact that they aren't respecting Dignitas. They aren't respecting anyone, and if they're going to continue to play that way, right now, it's working, because Dignitas are getting suffocated.
They're trying to collect themselves in the corner here, get some kind of possession going for themselves. It's a lot of chipping away, though, and nice consistent ball pressure from Kamoco. As you said, it's a little suffocating for Dignitas to try and maintain control of the ball. At midfield, Evo, that's a half touch. He looks for the demo ahead instead and tried to pass off possession to his teammates behind him. But Cam's got a nice flick, a very accomplished 1v1 player Cam is, and you can see it there. But a good save as well to keep the score at just 2-1.
Again, the bumps and demos being that center focal point for the offense of Kamoco. Bump was looking, there for Taroko. Taroko was, again, going after those Dignitas defenders. The Kamoco side not giving respect, not giving Dignitas time, and not giving them space here. As now pass in front, Gyro challenged by Cam Cover going to the corner, but An early challenge from Evo. Follow-up shot. That's off the crossbar. Nearly went in for Taroko. Almost a Fergal for Kamoco. And how beautiful that would be as Arsenal. That net was open for, but he couldn't find it. Follow-up was saved by Kofor Kamoco. Standing tall on the goal line. Dignitas. A huge missed opportunity as Kofor the other way. Arsenal keeps it out. Some shots ringing out here. Nobody's going in though. As both teams getting chances, but they just can't find the nets.
Great defensive composure from both sides. There were a couple of really, really nice saves at the last moment there, but that shot right in the slot, a lot of free time on the ball. You're probably not going to be able to save that one. Too many players dived at the previous attempt, and Evo just gets a field day with that one to tie the game at 2:05.
Well, the game as chaotic as this one has been so far, it's no surprise to see Dignitas get the goal out of creating chaos, out of multiple chances, out of going for it. And again, I think this is a real reaction to Kamoco, and Kamoco's going for chaos. Dignitas, basically the if you can do it, I can do it better mentality right now, and well, it's kept this game quite even.
Arsenal now actually leaves it as the ball bounces back and forth between the Dignitas members and spits toward their net. Gyro, plenty of time to save that one away. Now at midfield, Gopher off the ceiling. Taroko reaches, levers a shot on target. Not enough power though there, and the counterattack all the way back the other way. I feel like the shot attempt here from Taroko was a miscommunication. Oh, yeah, well, you see it right there. Cam also committed to that ball. That was their third, so there's nobody home to stop this one, and Dignitas takes the lead off a freebie.
B, I think you have a sixth sense here because you knew exactly what was happening, even when you couldn't see it. A double commit from Kamoco. Dignitas, no question, but to score on that play in response, a 3-2 lead with time still running out. That one nearly went out. Kamoco, even when they get scored, it always feels like just one opportunity, one chance, and they're right back in it. And that's how quickly they've been, taking the shots against Dignitas. Dignitas still waiting back the boost. Not an issue yet, but it could be if they continue to play this far back on their own back wall.
Cam again, up to his old tricks and flicks at midfield. A pass to the mid as well to Taroko, who hit it so high. Gyro extends the air dribble to midfield and gets a quality dunk toward the offensive zone. Arsenal is going to slot it home. That is all Gyro, though, who maintained control of that ball for so long and got a way better challenge than he had any right. Great shot from Arsenal to finish that one off.
Yeah, as you said, he had no business getting that beat on Kofor right there. There was no reason to think that he would get that, and yet he brings it in. He lures in Kofor's challenge, and he strikes right after it. A beautiful pass, and Dignitas leading 4-2, looking for number 5 is Gyro out in front, but it won't be Evo who'll be getting to that one as back the way goes Cam off the ceiling, drop down in front. Dignitas having to still play some strong defense, and that's been a huge deal for them this game. Has been adapting on defense, being able to take these plays that Kamoco are bringing, the chaos they want to bring, and really shutting it down in this these last 2 minutes. We've seen Dignitas adapt well to Kamoco, to that demo style, and they're basically just using it against Kamoco here. They're adapting to it, and now they're using it as Kamoco struggling to get offense here. Final seconds ticking away. Dignitas looking to, again, get themselves to day 2 here as quick as possible. And what a start this will be. No time left. No chance for Kamoco to take game 1. And Dignitas, a huge response there at game 1 in that second half. They made, adaptations, and it worked perfectly for them.
It really did. But that game felt like a pretty reasonable level for both teams. To me, it didn't feel like either team, obviously Dig wasn't, but Kamoco was not lacking. They had plenty of chances. They had plenty of, I liked the defensive control that they had on the field as well, despite letting 4 goals in. That doesn't necessarily mean you played horrible defense all game. So I liked what I saw from both teams. It's little bits and pieces that can be changed here or there, and we could see a long series. I think we really could. I mean, it's so tough to call with a field like this and with an esport that has been out of the public eye, in fits and starts in terms of the teams that are playing. It's like I was talking about, there are players that you haven't seen play for months, or you haven't seen the synergies that they're forming for months. So it's tough to make calls on where series might go when everything is a little bit new.
Yeah, it is, and especially with Rocket League being, I would consider at least one of the more volatile esports out there, with rosters always changing and teams always coming up with new styles, and there's always new winners, especially with it being a circuit-based format. It's always tough to predict who'll take it. I mean, North America, last season we thought it was going to be crazy, and this season, it's only just decided to one-up itself in the quality of the talent out there on the field. And again, with all of these kind of bubble teams, you consider them, fighting up against teams like Dignitas, who, your usual contenders, your usual suspects. It's going to make this esport so insane, so crazy, and upsets can happen. Here's Kyle, looking for the double tap, nearly got that one, but it will pinch wide. Kamoco, again, the chaotic offense right now, trying to break through Dignitas, get multiple chances on, but Dignitas challenging early like they did last game, and just like last game, it's working to keep Kamoco at bay.
Moving quickly to the ball, too, you got to see a good long view of Arsenal just surveying the play and diving exactly when he needs to, getting help from Gyro and never really panicking Dignitas, and it's the reason they're leading in the series so far is that composure. Again, here, nice save across from Evo. Everybody knows their job in any particular play, and that's really taken them far in this series. I'm curious to see if it'll net them a goal here, but nice defensive touch away from Kofer for now.
Great defense there from Kamoco. A follow-up touch from Kofer, trying to sneak it over Gyro. We haven't mentioned much about Gyro, and I think that's kind of been the story of his career. He's been in this scene for a while, and he just has never had those moments where people go and talk about his name. He's not one of those players where you look at him and you go, yes, that is, the player's going to be on the headlines, leading a team's charge, but that's exactly what he has been doing for so many different rosters. He's been kind of that keystone midfield player who is able just to, wrap up rosters, kind of tie everything together. He's one of the best at it, and there's a reason why every team he's been able to touch on has been gold, has been one of those rosters that you can't take your eye off of. And again, correlation here, for Gyro and his play has really been a huge factor why I think so many, analysts love to watch him, because he is one of those players who is just so good. It seems like it's so many different things.
I gotta say, you mentioned how he's not often a limelight player, but at the very least we would be remiss if we didn't say that Gyro is, I think, almost definitely the first player to hit a psycho in open RLCS competition, which was pretty sick, if you remember that from last season. So he can at the very least hang his hat on that. But as you say, a very well-rounded player, and one that just keeps sticking around. Every time you think it's going to be the last roster you see him on, he shows up again, and it's nice to see him slot in here with Dig and see how he fits with these other two experienced players.
Especially again with Evo probably be and Arsenal being these mechanical players who can play offense, who can rotate on defense. I mean, both these guys have had their times and have had their proving grounds. At least Arsenal has definitely succeeded in his. Evo's still I think a question mark for a lot of people. He has not been able. So kind of, he came into the scene with a lot of expectations, a lot of people saying, watch out, this will be the next #1 player. This player you have to watch. And, right now he hasn't proven it, but it feels like this roster has been the best roster he's been on so far to make that happen. So really, make people remember his name, because, again, you just need one, breakout team, and everything can change for you.
Well, something's got to change here. We're knotted up scoreless. Minute and a half left in game 2. After the first one went to Dig, and the ball's just constantly contested through the midfield line. We haven't seen really much of a wealth of scoring chances for either side, as it's sent back and forth. Sirocco interrupts at the midfield line. Side wall now. Gyro, that's a decent ball down to the mid, but no blue player really in the vicinity. Clean up on that play. And again, it's just possession changing back and forth, changing hands. No one, as you see here, Kofer not able to get on top of that ball. No one able to maintain control long enough to get themselves a decent scoring chance.
Cam looking for the flip reset. Sirocco, Kamoco still pushing. I mean, this is probably the best game they'll have, so far, to try to take one here against Dignitas, against a team that has been playing so well. Cam now trying to go for the back wall. Cleared it past Gyro, but he bumped off. Evo with free clearance here. Gets past one. Evo still moving is Evo. Sirocco blocking the midfield. Kofer trying to force his way through. Maybe a bump on that last defender, but Dignitas will play patiently as Gyro from his own backfield trying to solo this one out of his own half. Bumps out on the back wall. Dignitas nearly broke through Kamoco there, but still the orange side in control is Arsenal. Kofer, Gyro trying to send it back. Dig, Gyro infield. Who's waiting? It's Evo, but Evo won't get the opportunity there as that one's stopped by Cam. Now 10 seconds left. Arsenal going to the back wall. Miss there for Taroko. A huge miss from Taroko. And that might determine game 2.
Oh, that is brutal. That is brutal for Taroko. No one, no player, no level is exempt from misses like that, but with 6 seconds left, that stings. You got to see a miracle happen here. Here's the start of one anyway. Taroko with a reset. Opts to fake and try to get a player underneath it, but Dignitas are going to steal one off of a huge mistake from Taroko. That's got to sting. After dropping game 1 and keeping things so close all the way through, Kamoko's going to be feeling that one in a big way.
Series that felt like it was the defenses taking charge. That is what ends it. That is what determines it. That is gotta hurt here for Kamoko. Gotta hurt for their chances, especially with the fact that this is a best of 5. Their day may only get worse if they can't if they can't get any more wins here. Because reminder, the loser of this series has to play one more match to even give themselves a chance at getting into that top 2, getting into tomorrow. And so many times when teams lose the winner's match, they do not win the deciding match. They crumble, they fall apart. And for Kamoko, a free sweep here would be absolutely detrimental to their mentality. As we are again going into game number 3 here, seems like Thunder B has accidentally muted himself, so we'll wait for him to get back here. Yeah, Thunder B, my goodness. I was like, man, there's a lot of silence here. Thunder B, he's accidentally muted himself in the voice call here, but I think he's just here giving some silence here, giving a moment of silence to the hopes of Kamoko having gone away from game 2.
Yeah, I just didn't want folks to hear the ice rattling around in my boba tea. Apologies for that. I was talking about how you made the point that the team that drops their penultimate match tends to have a hard time winning the last one as well. They just kind of peter out, and that permeates across different formats. So it can happen here in groups. We see it a lot in double elim with the team performing well that comes from lowers rather than the team that drops from uppers. So that's a pretty common thing, and we'll see. The match is not over yet. We'll see if Kamoko does drop this game if they fall victim to that. But this series is far from over. Let's fixate a little bit here more on what happens in game 3, because Kamoko are the ones who have got an offensive, something going for themselves here right now. It's nice rotations though from Dignitas to keep the saves and all the touches in check.
It is. It has been nice rotations, and yeah, as you mentioned again, Kamoko, it's going to be really tough for them to be able to come back, especially if they lose this series in a sweep. I mean, a good example of that actually is happening right now in this event. Deleted XD playing its Pirates on a boat earlier today. You might recognize that match happened at the very beginning of the day. It was the other match. The winner of that match was going to play Luminosity Gaming, who won on their stream in that first round, and determined to beat Deleted XD, who we then saw lose 3-1, and after that they had to play a rematch against Pirates on a boat, and right now this series is a 2-0. They might get swept by Pirates on a boat, so that's how much momentum matters to these teams. And for Kamoko, if they're not playing, if the series isn't enough for them to play for, they need to be playing for the fact that momentum will also be a huge factor, especially if they can take this game 3. Dignitas looking for some offense though, as Arsenal around the corner, looking for maybe a pass in front. He still got it. So scoop in front. There's the open shot. Evo's got it there. Dignitas with goal 1, but Arsenal with a magnificent assist, and it's a great start for the team in blue.
That's great work from Arsenal, who had a fantastic fake to win the challenge outright on the wall, and then knew he had Taroko on a string. Just the position that Taroko was in on the goal line and in the net, Arsenal was laughing at that point. He was playing with house money, and he used every inch of space that he had to worm his way toward net and get an opportunity for his teammate. That's just great work. It's not fancy Rocket League, but it's damn is it effective. And Dignitas again are in the lead and in control of this game and in control of the series in a huge way.
Yeah, it feels like Dignitas are the team that have had less chances overall, have had less major scoring opportunities, and yet they've scored on more of them. It shows you the quality of play that Dignitas have. They don't care about how often they shoot, they just care about how good their shots are. And again, as you said, it's not pretty. It's not, the stuff that's going to be on the highlight reels as that one nearly was there. A redirect in front from Kofer, and Kamoko nearly was able to tie things up with that one, but Dignitas, again, strong on the defense, strong on the rotations. As they're not done with one goal. They need more, and again, they can't feel safe still against Kamoco, but that one goal definitely can allow them to at least take some pride in what they've been doing so far, because so far it's been so good.
And if you want a silver lining for Kamoco here, it's not a great one, but at the very least they didn't concede the 1-goal lead to Dignitas with 6 seconds left. So they've given themselves some time, at least here, to try and claw their way back and keep this series going. But Dignitas, again, chopping at the bit. Evo there would have had a pretty sick backboard read had he been able to fish out a touch, but it spits out back the other way and into the control of Kamoco for just a moment. Arsenal, great work again. Nice presence on the ball. Opens up some space for Evo, who misses out on the touch and has the ball half volleyed all the way down the other way. Gyro drops to mid, and it's going to be Kamoco coming back the other way. You saw a demo in the background as well, but Arsenal sweeps through and gives his teammate Gyro time to respawn.
And that heavy clear is giving me the impression that Kamoco are starting to get a bit desperate here. They're starting to just throw things at see if anything can stick. They aren't going to get many opportunities. There's a miss there from Kofor. I think he was intending to fake that, and yet Yona Kamoco was there to follow, and Dignitas looking to clear the other way as Kamoco really just pushing everybody through the midfield. They're not trying to hold that offense anymore. They just need to get some chance, desperately get on field, but Evo's not going to let him! It's his second of the game, and Dignitas are still firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, it's just a great bounce. What do you want me to say? It's a 50-50 that pinched out. Could have gone a couple different ways. It hit that spot, that not so sweet spot on the back wall where you can either get a perfect center or you can get something that peters out, but Cam is going to score right away, and I mean right away, off the kickoff. You take another look at this one. Okay. Maybe a miscommunication from Dignitas. I'm not quite sure what happened there on that kickoff.
Do that again on the stream. That is one of the strangest kickoffs I've ever seen. I think it was a cross between a fake and something else. But right now they got a 2v1, and Arsenal's going to take it back. Well, that kickoff may have been a mistake, but this is not a mistake. Arsenal, who has been, taking the back lines for this game for a while here. Haven't mentioned him that much, but here he slots on a goal here that allows Dignitas to keep their 2-goal lead. And what a great time to do it. It really shuts down all the hope that Kamoco had just gotten.
Didn't catch who that defender was for Kamoco, but that light chip, that touch was just a little careless to leave possession away to the other team when you could have hung on to it for a little bit longer. Kamoco is here though, and Taroko gonna slot one. And it took me this long to, okay, Cam, all right, double flip reset pass for the setup to Taroko. That part I did not see. But look at them streaking back in here and getting within one with some game left. There's time on the clock. It's not a lot, but it's a little, and I would love to see Kamoco grab this goal and tie the game up to extend the series just a bit.
Oh, they're gonna get it! Cam with a double tap! Kamoco, my goodness! A late game resurgence. Kofor with the assist. But Cam coming right through off the back wall, getting Dignitas dead to rights. Kamoco tie it up with 17 seconds left. Hope is back well and truly in them. They're revitalized now.
Oh, I love that pass from Kofor so much into the mid. It was pixel perfect. And not only were they able to make that nice pass, but the way that setup worked, Kofor was immediately able to drive toward net after making the pass and try to disrupt the defenders who were there as well. It's that great on and off ball combination play that is so effective when you're transitioning toward the offensive end. And look at this, we got overtime. Kamoco trying desperately to keep their lives happy and healthy in this tournament. They got a long way to go. You can't get too fixated on what's far away though. Just focus on the overtime, get yourselves a goal, get a win, and get this thing started.
Kamoco looking to start the reverse sweep, but Dignitas could end it right here in overtime. One shot, one goal can end it. Here, Dignitas trying to go to day 2. They want their day to be over. They want to be done and go to that final bracket, but it won't be so easy with how Kamoco has played. A late game recovery from Kamoco, some strong offensive chances. Cam scored that double tap earlier. Now a dunk there. It's Arsenal! Again! Arsenal scores, and Dignitas will go to Championship Sunday.
That's huge. Who else but Arsenal? I mean, it's just you rely on him to slot it when he needs to, and that's it. Dignitas sweep over Kamoco. Kamoco handed out that kind of a treatment to Hebro in the last round, and now they've been given a sweep back the other way. But as I said, that's kind of the nature of the beast in tournaments like this, and it's why it's so hard to call match results and so hard to rely on momentum too much. So there you go, Vod.
What an insane series to see, and my mic is muted as I'm saying this. No, it isn't. Okay, we're good. Had to make sure. But still, Dignitas taking the victory, very close for Kamoco, who 3-0 swept Hebro, mind you, to make it to this point in time. But taking a look at the bracket on how things have been updated so far with these matches, now they're going to have to wait and see exactly how things are going. They're going to be facing off against Hebro, who 3-0 Treehouse. So a rematch of epic proportions. That one, I believe, will be happening on the mainstream after the Shopify Rebellion matchup. That is correct. It will be Hebro versus Kamoco on Tactical Banditry after that. And then I think on Whoopsie's stream right now, they're going to be, or not right now, actually, in just a little bit, they'll be finishing up some other matches that are still going on. Chaos and Sup still happening. The loser of Shopify Rebellion NRG playing the winner of that series. But this is the last series we have on this stream today. I got to go run some errands, do some groceries. But it was a lot of fun to be joined by you, Sporty, and Thunder B in the background. Also, Cyrus Dims and Wolfie Too Hot earlier as well. Gentlemen, any final thoughts from you before we send things away? And thank you everyone who's been viewing today. Make sure you follow the channel. We're getting close to 4,000 followers. We'll be covering the action, I believe, tomorrow as well. Keep you updated on that too. But Dignitas did get the victory 3-0 in the series, 4-3 in that third game in OT, 1-0 in the game before that. But the first game, pretty dominant from them. As I say that though, final thoughts, gentlemen.
I'm curious how Dignitas are starting to feel with this swap that they've made with Gyro slotting in. Because the match results are starting to roll in. They're pulling together some wins against the kind of teams you really want to be beating, the ones that you feel are at, maybe just below or around your level, that when you can build on those wins, you can start to really gain a new roster, some confidence toward playing the tougher teams and tougher opponents. So I think it's got to be a great confidence booster for Dig going into another day of competition.
Oh, they got to feel amazing. That's all I got to say after that. I mean, what about you, Sporty? Great to have you on. I think this is the first time we've had you on as well for the Green Room streams too. So how do you feel?
My debut here. I remember kind of, going to the draw a couple of times. I had Zen Zero and Whoopsie, Taquito, and Ground Zero with me for those matches. That was always a fun time, but I was always like, man, Vodible's up there, in his high horse. I wonder how he's feeling. And I finally, I get to actually experience a little bit of that. So thank you so much for inviting me on here. I actually didn't think I'd actually get the chance. I responded kind of late to your earlier prompt today. I was off eating some pizza, so I was actually not paying attention to that. But again, it means a lot to have you join on. So watch a very exciting series, Dignitas playing as Dignitas should. And again, I'm excited to see how tomorrow will go. But again, thank you for joining me. And big thank you to Thunder B as well. I don't think we thank our co-casters.
Yes, thank you, Thunder B.
He's carrying me through today here. He's carrying me through today. I'm still recovering from eating too much pizza.
Eating too much pizza. Always got to recover from that. But thank you, everyone, for watching. We're going to be running an ad for a couple minutes, and then after that, we'll be sending a raid over afterwards. So I'd appreciate if you stuck around for those. Just that we can generate some revenue from that, but really it's just like $2. Anyway, though, we're going to be setting off to a break. Thank you all for watching. We'll send a raid over to Whoops You as well in just a moment. But after that, enjoy some of the rest of the matches. We'll be covering some action tomorrow if they let us to, so it's going to be a good time. You don't want to miss it. Follow the channel, and we'll see you on the flip side. Thanks for watching, everyone.